Sprouts. 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 Yep, you guessed it. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about sprouts. Because it's winter and nothing green is growing outside in the greenhouses anywhere. And I don't trust the supermarkets. So here we go. We're going to learn how to make our own sprouts from seeds. Eat some healthy stuff. Balance our diet. And get ready for springtime, because trust me, if we don't do it now and we jump straight away into a lot of veggie eating, we're gonna get those crumbs, those farts, and that discomfort that comes from transitioning from meat to a more like vegetable, green, fresh diet. If you've seen any of my other videos and you decided to come back for more, then I assume that you are finding some value in them. If that's the case, please bless me with your kindness by subscribing to the channel, as it helps me grow and become better. In return, I promise to bring you higher value content each time. Thank you very much. Making sprouts is very easy because you need only two ingredients. Number 1, water, and number 2, viable seeds. When it comes to seeds, anything goes. I love mung beans, sunflower seeds, radishes, beets, but each of us has a specific palate, and the only way to know what we like is to try a wide variety of seeds. In my rotation, I have lentils, both brown and black, radishes, sunflower seeds, mung beans, alfalfa, broccoli, beets, and many more, but I'll stop here. If I could caution you to some not so great ones, then those would be linseed and broccoli. And the reason for that is because they stink. And they stink bad. These days I rarely use them for sprouting, and instead I incorporate them in bread making recipes because I don't like to waste food. Pro tip: buy packages of seeds initially to see what you like, and once you're happy with a specific seed that you will use continuously, buy in bulk online because the price difference is humongous. When it comes to the tools needed for this process, again, it's very easy. You will just need large jars with lids and a strainer that we will use in the washing phase. So, select the seeds of your choice and put a tablespoon of them in each jar. You make as much as you need. The number of jars in this frame is what me and my family use on a weekly basis, but that doesn't mean that you should do the same. You know best what's the right amount for you, so you do that. Still, for the most seeds, a tablespoon is enough for a batch. The only seeds that I would add more than a tablespoon would be the beets, the sunflowers, or the pumpkins, because they are larger in size, so you need more to get more. After the seeds are in the jar, cover them with 1 inch of water, making sure they are fully submerged, and with a bit of extra water on the top to account for the swelling of the seeds. We need to soak them for 12 hours. So when you're done, close the jars with the lids and place them in a dark corner of your kitchen counters. Like in normal seed germination, in soil, the seeds need a dark environment to get the hint that it's sprouting time. I usually do this in the evening because it helps me get into a routine with them. By that I mean that in the morning, 12 hours later, I drain them as soon as I wake up, and then I don't need to worry about them the whole day. This process carries on for the next couple of days, as each morning I need to water them, meaning let them soak, drink for about 5 minutes, and then drain them again and place them back in the dark corner. This 5-minute routine allows me not to mess it up and forget about them. Initially I was keeping them in a drawer as it was darker, but I forgot to water them a couple of times, and without water they died, and I wasted a batch. Realize that these seeds rely only on water to get to that 1-week-old age, as we don't provide them with any growing medium like soil, cotton pads, or toilet paper. And speaking about 1 week old, that's when I usually start using them. Most seeds are tall and juicy by that time and will be a great addition to any dish you want to enjoy. If you want continuity, then at about day 3 or 4, you can soak another batch so that by the time you finish eating the initial ones, the second batch is ready for use and the cycle continues. There's many ways to enjoy them, and your imagination is the limit. Sandwiches, soups, stews, and everything in between. The combos are infinite. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not gonna nag you with all the health benefits, but you're smart, and if you do some homework on this, you're gonna see that I'm not full of I hope this video inspired you to at least be curious about this whole sprouts business, and if that's the case, please like it and share it with others. I wish you all the best, fun and happy adventures in the kitchen, and I will see you next time.